Okay, greetings, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Dreamscapes. Today we have our friend Mina from Turkey. I'm getting to talk to people from all over the world. Hello, Mina.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, thanks for coming. So, as per my usual process, I'm gonna sit and listen quietly while Mina describes her dream, and then we'll go back through it and try and make some sense of it. So, go ahead and start whenever you're ready.
Okay. I guess before that dream, I was having a stress dream because I usually have many stress dreams. So before I woke up, I saw this dream. Um, I remember seeing bright green grass first of all, and bright blue sky. It was almost like cartoonish or like a video game because it was so bright. And then I saw the mountain. It was like a pointy, narrow, high mountain, and I saw a castle-like thing, or maybe like Greek ruins. Not really like a castle, but it had no walls and it had pillars and stuff. They were all blue. Everything was blue. Not the mountain, just the pillars and the door. And there were some carvings on the door. It was beautiful. And so then I saw like a glimpse of a second this figure, this giant elephant, half the size of this mountain, just hopping and being happy, I guess, just living there. And then another second, they were right in front of me, but not that close. They were pretty far apart. I was pretty far apart from the mountain and that elephant, but I was still looking up at them because they were so huge. They were so huge, and then I felt like this peaceful sensation. I felt very calm, and I felt like they were sharing this moment with me, like they were sharing their peacefulness, their Zen moment with me, and they were they were sparkling like they were so shiny, like icy blue. They were also blue color, the elephant, and so shiny, and I couldn't even look at them. Uh, and I felt like I should say something, and I didn't want to waste this moment, but I was in no rush to say something. I didn't think about what to say or anything. I just opened my mouth and I said, "How can I be like you?" And I felt weird after asking that question, but I did it anyway. So they said in a female voice, but I don't think they had a gender. I just think, in my own opinion, I heard a female voice so I could relate to them more, maybe, but I don't think they had any gender. So they said in a soft female voice, "You can be anything you want." And I woke up feeling, continuing I woke up feeling that continuous peaceful feeling, and I really did feel like I could do anything after I woke up. But then everything fell apart again in my day.
After you woke up, the day was not
Yeah, the
entirely
day
peaceful.
was not that great.
Did is that pretty much the end of the dream? You woke up and kept that feeling, and then went on with your day.
Yeah, I went on with my day,
Okay.
and that feeling faded away,
Did you?
unfortunately.
Yeah, it's tough to hang on to those, but that's great. Waking up, that's a great way to wake up rather than waking up terrified
Yeah.
or worried. Um, just out of curiosity, did you go to bed the night before thinking about having a busy day? Did you anticipate knowing the following day was going to be rough?
No, actually, I didn't have anything to do that day, but I feel pressure every day to do something. Like I feel like I shouldn't waste my time. So maybe, I don't know. I didn't have anything to do, but I wanted to do something, you know?
Okay, sure, sure. So you kind of feel a obligation to be productive with your time.
Yeah,
It's kind of a part of who you are. Gotcha. That's
yes.
good to know. Okay. Well, yeah, we got through it. That's pretty much what I remember from the description. I try not to focus too much on what you said then, even though it's going to be similar to when you speak it now, because I try
Yeah.
to respond to what's happening immediately. I get so lost in my own thoughts, and I'll go off on tangents and forget what I'm doing. So I try to stay focused for the sake of being present with the people here. So I try to respond to what you've got. So refer to my own notes when we go back through it. And you said this was not the first dream you had that night. You were having stress dreams before that.
Yes.
And then you fell back asleep and had this dream?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was like a continuous thing. Like I had stress dreams, but I don't really remember them. And then right before I woke up, I saw this dream, and then I woke up. It's like,
Okay. Without getting into too much of the content of that dream you had previously, do you remember kind of what it was about? A specific kind of stress? You said you don't remember
I
it,
really
but
don't remember
okay.
what I saw, but I felt like this, anxious feeling, you know?
So you woke up from that previous dream the same night with kind of an anxious feeling. Did you do
Yeah.
anything when you were awake? Did you just kind of roll over and go right back to sleep? Did you get up?
I don't even remember when I woke up.
Okay, fair enough.
But
Not to get too picky on that stuff. I do something I call rattling
okay.
doorknobs. I get hello son, I need that paper.
I may have, woken up before I saw that, but I don't remember because I fall to sleep pretty fast.
I'm just gonna move my keyboard entirely because
Okay.
he's gonna be a problem. You're a problem, son. Yeah, because sometimes people get up in the middle of the night, especially if they've had a disturbing dream, and they will do something for a minute. They go to the bathroom, they get a glass of water,
No, I
they
don't
stretch
remember.
their legs and get out of bed. Some people just roll back over it. Sometimes that matters, sometimes it doesn't. And what I was explaining was sometimes I do something called rattling doorknobs. I just go intuitively with, if something interests me, I check, and then maybe it's nothing. Forget it, and we go on to the next door, and rattle that knob and see what happens. It does seem, and it may or may not be specifically relevant, but the idea that you would have a stressful dream and then followed by a peaceful dream,
Mm-hmm.
as if self-reassuring type of thing, like it may have reference to that feeling you woke
Yeah.
up with. So that's something to, if you remember later, if I remember to come back around to it, we could maybe put those together. Maybe not, maybe it is entirely disconnected. You never know. So you described being in a place where there was green grass and a bright blue sky. Do you
Mm-hmm.
remember, so you were looking at the mountain from
Yeah, up, looking
from
up.
where you were. Do you remember like where you were standing? What was immediately around you?
I was standing on the grass.
Stop.
I didn't see
Stop.
anything else
Stop.
other than
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't see anything. It's okay.
So you were,
I didn't see anything else other than that mountain. So I was just standing on the grass.
and as far as you know, it was kind of a large area around you, like many.
Actually, like a small area, I would say. I know it sounds like a large place, but it was a pretty small space.
Okay. Did you imagine the very small space was just where you were standing, or did the very small space in the dream actually encompass the mountain as well?
It encompassed the mountain, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, I just felt like
Yeah.
just that mountain and me and that elephant figure.
Yeah. That may be significant too. That's an interesting idea. Some people, when they're standing on grass looking at a mountain, they would have the experience of being in a very large open space, but for you it felt small. And
Yeah, it felt small, yeah.
yeah, and in dreams, especially in dreams, it doesn't have to make sense. It just has to be a real feeling. You just say what you felt, and that's always true because
Mm-hmm.
it's a dream, and there are no laws of physics in our head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those connected feelings are also often very important. And you were looking at, and you described it as kind of almost cartoonish or video game like quality
Yeah,
to the colors.
yes. I usually don't have those bright colors in my dreams. They usually have like a grayish hue, but that dream felt very colorful and very strange to me because that was the first time I saw those bright colors in my dream.
Okay. Excuse me.
It's okay.
Yeah. So, do you remember if the grass was tall or short? I don't know why I care. It's just an interesting.
I don't know. It was short, I guess. Medium. I don't know.
What I'm wondering is, did it have the feel of like when you mow the lawn and it was short and manicured, like cared, or was it a wild
Yeah,
field of grass and it was
it
tall?
was like cared for.
Okay.
It was cared for. They were all the same size,
Oh, the same height, like it had been cut.
the same height. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, because maybe yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. That's I just follow my instincts. Uh yeah, and this bright and the bright color stood out because normally your dreams are more of a grayish hue, and that's actually most
Yeah.
people don't dream in color at all. It's very rare, but the folks that I talk to seem to have a lot of experience of color in their dreams, and maybe there's something related to that. Maybe I'll get to 100 videos and I'll realize something about people who dream vividly, remember their dreams, people who are the type of person who would share their dream and wish to talk about it. Maybe there's something,
Yeah,
it's all connected to
actually,
dreaming in color.
mm, my older sister told me that she saw her dreams like black and white, and I was so shocked.
Mm-hmm. And I don't remember the exact statistic, but that is most people do not dream in color at all. Yeah, who knows
That's
why?
so strange.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But it's an interesting thing to learn. It's like, what does that mean? Why does that happen? We
Yeah.
honestly we don't know. We have no idea why that happens. Not yet. Um, maybe someday we'll figure it out. Um, so the first thing you noticed is you're on this bright green grass, and there's just this
Yeah.
bright blue sky. Clouds, or just this
No
bright blue?
clouds,
No
just
clouds.
this color, blue color all around.
And then you see in the distance, and it's a small space, but it's pretty far from you. There's this mountain,
Yeah.
and the mountain was typical mountain color, kind of brownish gray rock, that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
Okay.
Grayish.
And you described it as kind of narrow and high.
Yes.
So it wasn't,
Narrow and very high.
and I'm wondering how to describe that maybe a little bit better. Those words are good. So it wasn't like a mountain range where it was kind of low, but there
No,
was just
yeah.
one mountain. If you had
Yes.
to describe it in terms of how wide the base was versus how tall it is, how would you
Mm.
describe that? Was it like equally tall as wide, or was it, when you say narrow, I assume that it was taller than wide.
Yes, it
That
was
makes sense.
taller than wide.
By like a lot, did it go way up into the sky, or was it, how would you
I just
describe that?
remember pulling my head up, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
I was
So
they were far away, but I was looking up.
so you had to actually tip your head back and look up to see the top of it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. That's kind of what I was getting for. And then you, were there any other distinguishing features on the mountain? Anything that comes to mind when you're kind of
No,
looking at it
it
in your
was
mind?
very actually it was very, very simple.
Very simple. Okay. Kind of plain almost.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's why I describe it like a video game, because in real life there are so many details.
Yeah. No, that's fine. And then sometimes details are there and sometimes they're not. And sometimes there's details there that are important. And sometimes there's details there that are, I mean, your brain just puts it there because something has to go there to for you to recognize it for what it is. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes these things are, yeah, I think we got something in there. I'm glad I asked. So you look up, and was the you described seeing kind of ruins up there, like Greek
Yeah,
ruins. Uh,
but like it was intentional. It wasn't like ruins, you know.
sure. What I was going to ask first is,
It
was it
looked.
at the very
Sorry.
top? Oh, go ahead.
No, not the very top, but a little, you know. I don't know, not the very top, but a little down. I don't know
Just
how to describe
no,
it.
no. That's actually a good description. So the ruins were, and I'm using that word. We can go back and talk about what that means. Uh,
Like, it looked like when you reach those ruin type pillars, you could go even more up to the top.
yes, exactly. That's what I was looking at. Was it sitting literally on top of the mountain, or was it
No,
on the mountain near the top, but
on the
the
mountain.
peak was still
Yeah,
a little bit further up?
yes, that's exactly
Gotcha.
how it was.
I think that's probably an important detail too. Um, so as you're scanning this, you notice that the whoa, he's going nuts. There's another cat in here. He likes to chase around, so she hides. And sometimes I worry he's bullying her, so I try and I try and keep them keep the peace. Okay, so you noticed that it had a color to the. First, maybe we should say, when I say ruins, I mean it's like someone built it, but it was a long
Yeah,
time ago, and so it's crumbled a bit, but it's still standing.
it wasn't really crumbled like it was made yesterday, but I don't have any reference to say what it looked like, so I was saying Greek ruins, but it wasn't
Sure.
actually ruins. It was just Greek structure, you know?
Yeah. Are you familiar with? You've probably seen pictures of, like, say, the Parthenon in Athens.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it kind of reminded you of that.
yes.
Okay, good. That's kind of what I had in my mind too. So I think that's actually probably relevant too. Uh,
Like newly made
but newly
Greek
made, so
structure.
not ruins at all. Not at all. I picked the
Not
wrong
not at
word.
all.
Okay.
Not. I just said ruins because I don't have any reference to that kind of building structure. I don't know.
Yeah. So this also, in the way of the grass you were on, it's the structure, the building, the kind of temple, we could say, Greek temple looking place, was also
Hmm.
well maintained. Um,
Yes, very well
okay.
maintained.
We'll say well kept. Shorter word. I always I try to take so many notes. Um, so you and you mentioned the color. That's what I wanted to get to next. You said it was a blue. Was it blue of a different quality than the sky?
Yes. Yes, it was like a darker blue than the being and also the sky.
Okay. So just for that kind of contrast too, it stood out by being darker than some of the other things, so you could
Yes.
see it more clearly. Gotcha. Okay. Can I tear the paper? Ah, I did it. Small victories. It just makes me happy when I tear the paper straight. That's my autism talking right there. um, so you mentioned uh, seeing a door, and if you could kind of describe that a little bit, where it was positioned in the
A
building, how big it
little.
was relative to the building.
It was actually the door was actually kind of narrow too.
Narrow
And
and
it was
tall.
narrow and tall, and it
Okay.
had like beautiful carvings. And it had no door actually. Like it was just the door frame. I don't know how to
Oh,
describe that either.
a doorway without
Yeah, doorway.
we say
Yes.
a portal or an open arch.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
that's
okay.
exactly what I'm talking
Let's
about.
say open arch. And where were the carvings around it? Kind of around and over the doorway?
On top mostly.
Okay. Do you
Um,
remember any of the visual images of the carvings or what they suggested?
mm, like a circular thing. I don't know how to describe it really, but you know, you. draw on paper like circle, it goes smaller. My English is not very
No,
good
no,
for
no, no.
this.
That's okay. And we're gonna. My English is terrible too. I'm gonna just draw a little picture. I don't know if you can see like a spiral.
Yes, that's exactly
Spiral.
how it was. Yes,
Okay.
spiral.
And was there just one big spiral over the doorway?
No, there was two on each. There was two on top, like one on the left side, one on the right side.
Okay. And were there other carvings, or was just those two spirals?
No, there were other carvings, but I don't remember exactly what shape they were.
Those
They were all
two.
jumbled together.
Okay. So it wasn't just two spirals, they were mixed in with other things.
Yes, exactly.
Interesting. Do you remember, now that you're kind of back in that moment, when you saw those spirals, did you get a feeling or an idea occur to you about seeing that?
I just the whole thing, the whole temple thing just felt, I don't know why, but it felt very rich. Like like it was expensive. Though that place was expensive. I don't know why.
Okay.
The carving and stuff, it made it the temple look expensive.
And maybe by that, do you mean something of very high quality?
Yes,
Okay.
everything was made with care. That's how it looked like.
Okay. Um, and you also described it as being, or specifically the carvings around the doorway being beautiful.
Yes,
Okay.
that those carvings took my attention right away.
Okay. And it was at this moment in your description that you said that's when you got a glimpse of
Yes,
another being. Uh,
yeah.
when you say glimpse is usually just something that you only see briefly for a moment. And
hmm
where did that figure appear to be in that brief moment?
Like the left of the mountain, they were kind of like hopping. I don't remember, but they looked happy and enjoying themselves, like they're playing or something.
Okay, so it was, and when you saw it, just that glimpse, a glimpse would mean maybe it wasn't there, then it was there, then it was gone again.
Yes.
Okay, how big was it when you saw it the first time? Was it as if it was on the mountain and small, or was it behind the
No,
mountain?
the first time they looked small, but I think it's because they were far away. But then when they came before me, they looked like half the size of the mountain, very big.
I don't know if there's a term you've heard, frolicking. Does that sound familiar? Frolicking.
No, unfortunately.
It's kind of the idea of a dancing play, like you're describing. It's you would watch, say, a baby lamb frolic in a field of grass,
Yeah,
kick and play and roll over
okay.
and nudge the other lambs to get them to chase them, that kind of thing. Uh,
That's actually a great example word because they looked like a child at that moment because they were playing.
did you have the sense that this creature was aware of you and playing with you, or just playing oblivious of you until they approach?
I think they were aware of me when I first stepped into the grass. They were still playing.
Okay,
They knew I was watching them.
there he goes. Hey, buddy. It's laying on my paperwork.
So
Oh,
cute.
I know. That's what I can't be mad at him, and I don't really do anything to make him stop doing this because I think people probably find it amusing. I hope.
Yes.
Especially whoever I'm talking to, as long as you think it's cute. My son.
It's a good distraction.
I know. Just I call it value-added content. I could not train him to be adorable, but he'll just do it on his own.
Yeah.
So you had the feeling that this being was aware of you from the moment you appeared in the dream, and the frolicking, the playfulness was part of their nature, but also it was kind of directed at you as well. They know you're watching, and it's revealing itself to you in what am I trying? Excuse me. Ooh. I usually turn away from the mic when I do that. That surprised me. It's as if it wanted to show you what it was, and have you see it in its natural state. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then, when you saw it the first time, can you describe you said it was kind of like a blue elephant, or was it a blue person with an elephant head, or how did that work out?
No, it was like a real elephant, like we see in real life, but they were light blue, and they were sparkling. A real size elephant, but like a bigger,
Yeah. Do you? I don't know if it matters, but I have I want to get a kind of mental image, I guess. If you use glitter for art projects.
Yeah.
Is it like glitter, like it was covered in glitter and sparkly, or did it sparkle in certain areas more than others, like something on it was shining? How would you describe that?
I think they were sparkling everywhere.
Okay, kind of like the whole body is like he was covered in glitter in a way. Okay.
Their skin was like a reflective.
Okay.
Of the light,
Yeah. Okay. Very good. I need my notes, son. I need it. And then, so this is still all the first impression of seeing it on the mountain and getting that glimpse. Where did it appear in relation to the temple? You said it was kind of off to the left side from your perspective, but was it?
Yes.
Did it appear close to the temple, or kind of further down the mountain? Did it appear from above the temple, higher up the mountain?
They were on the grass too. Like they could, go up to the mountain, but they didn't go up to the mountain when I was there.
So the first glimpse of it, you saw it was at the foot of the mountain.
Yes, grass.
By the grass. Okay.
Yeah.
I had that mental image of it appearing on the mountain. That's why I'm glad I asked.
No.
Okay, and then it kind of disappeared for a moment. So you got that glimpse, and then when it reappeared, it was much closer.
Yes, a little bit closer, but I was still looking up.
Okay.
To see them.
If you were to place the elephant between you and the mountain, how far towards the mountain was the elephant?
They were pretty close to the mountain, and I was like far away from both of them, like maybe 30 meters. I don't know.
Sure.
Like 25, 30 meters.
I'm more looking at maybe a ratio or a percentage, like and it doesn't have to be that specific, but drawing the picture in my mind, like if it was exactly 50% to the elephant and then 50% more to the mountain, that would be halfway between you and the mountain. You're saying he was still kind of at the foot of the mountain, but when he reappeared, he was huge.
Yes.
Okay.
That's strange because they appeared small before but then big, but they were at the same place,
Yeah. That's good. That helps me draw that mental picture. Like as much as possible, I want to put you back in the experience of the dream to help form connections, but I also want to make sure I'm seeing what you're actually describing as much as I can. Otherwise, I'm not going to we're not going to be looking at the same thing, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of this middle piece of me asking questions is to try and make sure I, because if I can't see it, I can't help you describe it, that kind of thing.
It's okay.
So yeah, first appeared small, blink, huge. And
Yes.
when you said, so you're still looking up at the mountain, and now, if this elephant is at the base of the mountain, how
Yes.
much of the mountain can you see above their head?
Like half of it.
Okay, so it was about half as tall as the mountain.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Oh, wish me luck, son. I'm tearing paper. Here's a new bed for you to lay on. Come on. Oh, it's not working. God, there we go. Oh, it's straight. I win. I'm going to do it. I'm going to show it off. Look at that. It's pretty.
That's
Okay.
perfect.
Because I get these little, I tear a paper raw and it bothers me. Just these little flippy things. It's like failure. It's rubbing it in my face. You tore the paper wrong. Fine. Okay, so I do need to see this a little more, Sonny boy. And so at first you had you saw this thing and you had the sense that it was playful, playing with you, frolicking about. And then when it appeared huge, you got a almost immediately a peaceful sensation from the creature.
Yes.
Okay.
Like they were like embracing me, but they weren't, like a mother's touch,
Yeah. And yeah, embrace was a good way, because you said you felt a sense that they were sharing with you their peaceful feeling.
Yes.
As if it wasn't just you experiencing a peaceful feeling by observing this, but something they were giving to
Yes,
you.
they were giving me that peaceful feeling, like showing me how it was.
And did you have a sense of time passing in that moment before you spoke? Did anything else happen? Did you just kind of feel it for a short time?
Everything was very short.
Okay.
Didn't feel like time was rolling by.
Okay.
Felt like everything happened at that moment.
Yeah, and that's what's fascinating. I get some people who message me about, well, my dream was really short. I don't know if it'd make good content. I'm like, we've already been going for a half an hour. We're not even to the end of the dream yet. So we're close, but
True.
Yeah. So I mean, these things can take 1 or 2 hours depending on how complicated the dream is. But we can make a show out of anything. I'll do a 30-minute conversation if people want to. That's fine with me. So how soon after you experienced the being having that feeling shared with you did you speak, and what kind of drove you to speak? What was the motivation to speak?
I felt like I shouldn't waste this moment because I felt they wanted to show me something. They wanted to share with me something. So I told myself in my head I should say something, but I was in no rush to say it. I was very peaceful.
So there was
Uh,
two experiences happening at the same time. One was this urge not to waste an opportunity, but
Yes.
without the feeling of urgency.
Yes.
Without feeling in a rush. Okay.
I know it sounds weird, but
No, that's we'll do something with that. Yeah. And again, dreams don't have to make sense. There's two things happening at the same time there for a reason. We'll see if we can figure out why. And it's sometimes it's even better if it doesn't make sense, because that means, well, we'll get around to what it means. Hell if I know right now. And so the words that came to your mind were to ask, how can I be like you?
yes. But I wasn't asking to, I wasn't asking to be like them, like per se, like not in person, but I was asking sort of like, how can I be this peaceful, this happy? It felt like that to me, that question. I don't know if I explained it right, but
Yeah, yeah.
not that I wanted to be like them exactly, but I wanted to be that happy and
Yeah.
calm.
You didn't want to. You weren't asking, "How do I become an elephant like you?"
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I thought
how
that's
can
what you
I
meant.
have
Yeah,
this mountain or anything like that? No.
yeah. I think that is. I think that's. There's something important there too. Like how can I be this peaceful? Is how you described it. How can I
Yes.
carry
How can
this?
I be,
Go ahead.
yeah, as content as you right now? I think I was asking that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because sometimes the specific words are important, but they don't capture the intent. And that's I'm very happy, glad you described it, because that would have been my next question anyway. What did you mean by that? What were you trying to accomplish? And it was to maintain that peaceful feeling, to carry
Yes.
that with you beyond this encounter.
Yes. Carry that with me in real life, for example.
Absolutely. Um, and then you got the experience of when you were looking at. You said the elephant had no obvious gender.
Yeah, I don't think they had any gender, but they had a female aura and a female voice, but I still think they didn't have any gender.
Okay, yeah, and then it spoke to you. Did you watch it like I don't know, like a cartoon where you'd see the animal's lip moving and they're talking, or did it just kind of the words appear in your mind?
The
Did you hear a
words
voice from nowhere?
appeared. I heard like an echoing voice, but they were moving their mouth. Like they were speaking from everywhere. It was like there were, you know, microphones everywhere, and I was hearing them echo.
Okay, so it you in a sense you couldn't hear the voice coming from a distance, but it was like the voice was so it was just present as if it was coming from all
Yes,
around you at the same time.
yes, yes.
Okay. Do you remember the quality of the voice? Did it sound like an old woman? Did it sound like a young woman, middle aged? Did it sound like someone with a particular accent?
It sound like a 30-year-old, maybe like a middle age,
So
not very
not
old,
like a
not very
child, not like
young.
an old woman, but a
Yes,
mature, full grown adult voice. Okay.
yes. Very soft too. Like I didn't feel scared or anything.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask is what did you feel when you heard the voice?
The peacefulness feeling came flooding more.
Okay. And as far as you can recall, the words were you can be anything you want.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And are you able to do uh, an impression of the way it was spoken, or is it not that strong of a
Okay.
memory? I'm
No,
not to
I
put you on
can.
not to put you on the spot. Yeah.
No, I can.
Okay. Go ahead.
It was like, you can be anything you want.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. No, that's good to know. Because it didn't come across, say, as commanding or harsh.
No,
Uh,
it
it,
was like a very breathy and soft and,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and it didn't come across as annoyed with you. There's a lot to the
No.
tone, yeah, that says what the message is and the feeling the message conveys. So, yeah,
Felt like they were welcoming me to that place.
yeah. And then how soon after those words were spoken did you wake up?
I woke up immediately.
Pretty much immediately.
After I heard that voice, and after I woke up immediately.
And other
Yeah,
than the peaceful feeling, did you have an emotional response to the message itself? Like the
I
moment the
really
message was spoken?
I really did feel like I could do anything that day.
Okay. So the sense, what is it? The sensation, the emotional impact of hearing those words spoken was to give you a sense of confidence
Yes,
in your own
I
ability.
believe so.
Okay. Okay. Well, that takes us back through to the end of the dream. And before I get into making any suggestions of my own or highlighting things I think are relevant, now that we've gone through it twice and the second time in a lot greater detail, did
Yes.
anything come to your mind suggesting the most important elements, or did you have sudden understanding about what certain images meant? What did you?
Actually,
Yeah,
yes. Like when I described it like a mother's touch.
yeah.
Like I sorry, I'm getting emotional.
That's okay.
Um, I don't feel like I get that sense from my own mother. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So maybe in a sense that's something you want more of.
Yes, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's probably very important. I mean, that's one very direct connection that relates to your real life. That so the dream would, in
Sorry if
some.
I get an emotional.
No, that's okay. That's okay. No, these things are very often very personal dreams. So I'm always very grateful that people are willing to share these intimate details of what's going on inside their head and how they're feeling. Um,
Mhm.
so in one sense, that element of the dream is something that is important to you, that you feel is maybe less than you would like it to be in your real life. So you have this element represented in the dream of uh, giving you what you're missing, or expressing the desire for it, if that makes sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. Now that we've made just that initial connection, does that explain anything else in the dream to you? Does that connect to other parts? What does that bring to mind?
Um, you know, yeah, actually, I felt like a lot of. I felt like in my life, I'm always like less. Maybe I'm not enough.
Yeah, you did mention feeling a lot of pressure to be productive,
Yes,
kind of pressure to perform, to meet high standards.
yes, exactly.
Where do you get the sense that pressure is coming from? Inside you or
Um,
put on you by other people? How would you describe it?
I think when I was little, it was put on by me from other people, but then that that went away, and people don't care about like what I do anymore, but I do now. But I put pressure on myself now.
Okay. There's a couple of things that could be happening there. Is one, you and we all do when we're little, we look to the people around us who care for us. They're kind of uh, our first image of God in a way. These all powerful creatures that I'm completely dependent on for my survival, and
Yes.
and what makes them happy or angry influences our choices. Don't don't poop on the carpet, please go in the toilet, that kind of thing. Just like we train cats. We learn that at a very young age. But then also other things. This is how you be nice. This is how you put away your clothes. A lot of expectations. And so we internalize that. And then even if the daily expression of those expectations falls away as we get older, our internal sense of this is what is expected of me, this is what I have to do to be good, to have their approval, that stays with us for a long time. That's why in some of my other videos I talk about Sigmund Freud, and he was pretty convinced that almost everything that goes wrong in our head comes from childhood, being raised wrong, or bad expectations or trauma. Not exactly. He's right. A lot of it does. And that's very foundational, and it hardwires circuits in our brain to repeat certain patterns. So he was right about that. But there's also everything else that happens to us after we're a kid. That also plays a part of it. But that stuff is also very important. So long story short, I'm wandering off on a tangent here. My sense of this would be that part of what's going on with you right now is that you've internalized all of these expectations, and now rather than other people telling you what they expect, you put that on yourself to say, I need to reach this level so other people, because that's the right way to exist in the world.
Yes.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I think exactly like how you describe.
Yeah. Do you typically have let's see, this is a hard thing to ask, but that's
It's okay.
Yeah. It's not that you wouldn't answer, but hard thing to ask, because I need to make sure I say it correctly, and it's a hard thing to answer because I'm asking for like an average feeling, and feelings change every day. But between feeling on an everyday basis, between feeling mostly stressed out and worried about performing properly, or mostly having peaceful feelings of contentment, where are you mostly on any given day?
In real life, I'm pretty stressed out.
Okay.
Like a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that would explain why you ask the elephant creature that is sharing the peaceful feeling with you, I need this. How do I find this feeling? How do I carry it with me? How do I live this way? That makes sense to you?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I think there's something more to that as well. What are your associations with elephants? I'm not sure exactly where you live in terms of, like, are there elephants in your country outside of zoos?
Actually, but I before I had this dream, I thought of elephants as very wise because they remember stuff pretty well.
Yeah.
And that's and when they're, I heard about when they're about to die, they know, and they leave the group so they don't make them sad.
Wander away to the elephant
true.
Graveyard. I've heard that story too. I'm not sure what the scientific basis is, but
yeah,
it may be true. Yeah. Well, at the very least, this is what was in your mind prior to having the dream, is these associations. So whether it's true or not, that's what you were thinking, or that's the impression you had. It's also interesting, the colors. So you think of this creature as a representation of wisdom, but also a thoughtfulness towards others, in a way, like leaving the group so they don't make them sad when they're about to die, that kind of thing. That shows caring for others and how they feel.
I studied graphic design in high school, so I have an association with the color blue as well.
What is that?
They said that when they were teaching us, blue is a sad but calming color.
Okay. Yeah, and there seems kind of exactly that in your dream, equal parts sadness for things that are missing, and the desire to increase the calm in your life.
Yes.
So you've got this creature coming to you representing, but you didn't get the sense that it was sad. It's like, I'm blue, but I'm frisky. I'm happy.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah. Almost an embodiment of finding a way to be happiness inside of sadness, to find
maybe.
happiness inside yourself, even if what's on the surface is this representation of a
Maybe. Also,
sad color. Yeah.
when I said their skin was kind of reflective, it made them look elegant and fragile, but
Okay.
they were happy and calm.
Yeah, kind of elegant and fragile, almost as if you hit the skin with a hammer, it would crack.
Not exactly, but it
Fragile.
will be soft, I think.
Okay, gotcha. No, no, not that it was hard necessarily, but you say fragile, like, yeah, maybe I'm thinking of that wrong. Uh,
It's okay.
yeah,
Um,
maybe by fragile you meant more soft,
like a pillow,
like a
maybe.
pillow. Like it would be a nice feeling to bury your face in and snuggle this creature.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
gotcha. Yeah, then that's consistent with the what you were saying, the not just the feeling that it's sharing with you, but that kind of motherly, comforting, welcoming presence is,
Mm-hmm.
you would imagine, you know it would be nice to get a hug from the elephant.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually thought about hugging them in my dream. I didn't say this, but
Oh, yeah. When did that urge occur? When they were small in the distance, or when they were big in your?
I think when they were small, I was having fun with them, but when they were big, I felt the urge to hug them because, like I said, it felt like their presence felt like embracing me. Their presence, yeah,
Yeah, so there was that urge to kind of
they were embracing me.
embrace them
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's one thing we haven't gotten into yet. Was we haven't gone to the mountain and the temple yet. We'll get to that, sure. Right? That's who knew there's so much in these little details. I
Yes.
love this whole process. Uh, there's the idea of the elephant being small when it's almost in a way playing hide and seek with you. Here I am. I'm gone. I'm back.
Yes.
And so there's that playful element to it too. But small can represent distance, but distance can also be. It's not just physical distance. It's a separation. Sometimes it's. What am I trying to say?
Mhm.
Does that bring anything to mind? I mean, just thinking about the difference between the elephant being small when it's far away, but then big when small when it's playful, and then big
Mhm.
when it's motherly and comforting. What comes to mind with those two things?
Mm, I'm not really sure. Maybe they're wise, but they know how to have fun. That only comes to my mind.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
what are your thoughts?
yeah. No, that's tough too. That's why I was trying to. I think there's something there. I can't always figure these things out. I get a tickle of meaning. Like there's something there, and I just can't. I can't get a glimpse of it. The elephant's hiding from me. Um,
Oh, I got an idea. Maybe
yeah.
when they were small and playful, they were trying to relate with me. But then when they were big, they were trying to teach me something.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I see myself as a childish person.
Yeah.
I'm not a child, but I'm a childish person.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I like playing.
And that's good. And we should. There's a lot of people who say that's a part of ourselves we should never lose. We should have the ability to be serious, but we should maintain the ability to play,
Mhm.
because that's where it's like those are two important elements of who we are, and without one or the other, we're incomplete. So, but I think that's
Yeah.
very very important that you say that maybe in your mind you're seeing the playfulness as something smaller than the comforting calmness. What am I trying to say? Smaller as in not less relevant, but not necessarily less important. Um, but yeah, there's a disparity in that size between the ideas involved. Does that make sense?
Mm. Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know if you have anything
Maybe
to say about that. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I see playing as less important. I don't know. That makes a lot of sense actually because I don't allow myself to have fun. I always feel guilty.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. No, no, that's kind of the direction I'm going with this is it's not sometimes dreams are what am I trying to say? it's not that you actually believe something is necessarily accurate or true just because it's expressed that way in the dream, but there's a certain concept involved that you're processing. So that may actually be very relevant, that idea that you see even if it's the same elephant, small and large, there is a difference in expression of these pieces of the elephant. So the very small, childish, playful part, and then the big kind of responsible, motherly, comforting part. And I think these are both parts of you, and
maybe.
and internalized images of the feminine, the motherly, that different kind of stuff. So it may be part of you is wondering, just like we were talking about now, whether you should recognize or invest more time in that playful side of yourself in order to achieve the eventual calming effect.
Maybe, but to be honest, I actually play a lot, but
okay.
I'm actually, I do what I want, but I just feel guilty when I do it. I don't allow myself to have fun. When I'm having fun, it doesn't feel like it's fun because there's always that voice in my mind like you should be doing something more important than this,
Gotcha. Yeah. And that's the disparity in importance is good too, because you did see the playful. It's not that the playful side is not important. It's just that in your mind it's smaller, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm dancing all around this idea, and I'm not getting it. Usually I can put these things together a little bit better, but I think that the diminished size is representative of that guilt, perhaps. Let's pause on that a minute, because like I said, we hadn't even gotten to the temple or the mountain yet, and I think those are related as well, because there's something about mountains that it's not universal, but human beings have an experience of, mountains are big, mountains are tall, it takes a lot of effort. It's a metaphor often for climbing the heights, achieving things. So you've got this mountain that is like, it's not a very low kind of flat just mountain range. It's this peak way up in the sky, and almost right at the top is this temple, and temples tend to be like places of knowledge, wisdom. It's somewhere important that you would find maybe answers, or as you were describing, it's very well kept and maintained. It looks like something of high quality, maybe something to aspire to.
Yes.
When you looked at it, did you have a sense of wanting to go there?
Yes, I did. I wanted to be there.
Okay.
But I didn't.
But you didn't actually go, well, the dream was too short and it had a different message for you. But I think that message was there too. And that probably, I don't know why in my mind, the mountain and the word responsibility just are kind of overlapped. What, does that inspire anything? Any thoughts in you?
Yes, actually, when I had that dream and I woke up, I felt the same way when I was thinking about that dream. Like, like how the exact same way how we described it, I felt that, like there is effort in there to go up there, and I want to be there. I want to have my own, living space up there somewhere. I don't know.
Sure. And that could be part aspirational, like in your real life, you want to get out on your own, make your own space to live in. But there's also something metaphorical in climbing the mountain to get to the temple, where to achieve something of high quality, to get, I mean, I can't think of a better metaphor than climb the mountain to get to the temple. That seems like really powerful.
That makes a lot of sense. Yes.
Yeah, but then, and that's why I was trying to tease out those details of where did the elephant come from, and the elephant wasn't anywhere on the mountain. The elephant was at the base of the mountain. Like, you don't even have to climb the mountain to get to the elephant. The elephant is right there. It's part of it is small, and then same elephant, part of it is big. And it may be important in that sense that it was always at the base of the mountain. So you never even had to set foot on that path to achievement in order to find the playfulness and the sense of peace and peaceful calm and contentment.
Yes, actually, I never thought that they would be climbing there. I felt like I did think about how did they get up in, how can they get up there, but the image of like them appearing there and here came to my mind. Like I didn't see them climbing, or I didn't think about them climbing that mountain. They could just appear anywhere, the being.
So the being could kind of effortlessly appear at the top of the mountain if they wanted to.
Yes, I felt that kind of sense, but I didn't see it, but I felt like they could.
Yeah. I think it's also significant, and I pointed this out earlier, and I was trying to come around to it, that the temple even wasn't at the peak. That this, even achieving a temple, like imagine you lived there, you finally arrived and you were able to inhabit that space. There's still more mountain. There's higher to climb. Yeah. It's almost like the journey's never done. The effort is never enough to quite get to the peak, even if you accomplish amazing things. And
actually, I don't know if this is important, but I don't remember seeing a road or anything like to the temple.
Yeah,
we were just standing there. There was no road.
I think that might be important in terms of, like, if you had seen a road, you would know the path. You would know how to get to the temple. All you know is that it's way up there. It's a huge mountain. I'd love to get there. I don't know how. And I think that's. I mean, is that your daily, not daily, but your current place in life right now, where you're like, you want to achieve more, but you're not sure how to get there?
Yes, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's a pretty common experience too. It's nice to have it so kind of simply represented in a dream, just to let you know. And again, it's not like there is no path. Probably if you walked around the mountain, the path is right on the other side, and you're like, oh, there it is. You just had to put yourself in a position where you could see it. Right now, from where you're at, you can't see the path. Doesn't mean it's not there. Just not currently visible. Yeah, but the dream was, definitely seemed to be telling you a lot of things about your current state of mind, your current thoughts and feelings about where you're at in your life so far, and what you hope to achieve, what you feel driven to aspire to, but also underdeveloped areas of yourself that are maybe needing more expression. And that's, I think, that playfulness and the striving to achieve calm in your life. I think that's where a lot of that imagery is coming from. But also, I think it's another thought that occurred to me: the idea that this playful, frolicking, and then motherly, peaceful elephant had the magical ability to appear anywhere. It could just be on the temple, be on the peak. I think that was also trying to tell you something about yourself, in terms of maybe if you, or at least there's a part of you that thinks if you invest a little more time in the playful aspect, in making these, that somehow that's going to give you that ability to navigate the mountain better. It's going to give you some extra. I think there's a part of you that knows you need to find a way to enjoy yourself more, and that will reduce stress, and reduce stress leads to better achievement, if that makes sense.
Maybe the dream was trying to tell me I shouldn't feel so guilty when I'm having fun, or I'm trying to having fun,
Yeah, I think definitely you're almost withholding the peaceful, calm feeling from yourself, because the guilt is getting in the way when you're trying to have fun. Are you? What am I trying to say? Do you think you have a pretty good handle on your responsibilities, in terms of when you set yourself a task and you know what your obligations are, you get it done?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, gotcha. Well, that makes a lot more sense then too. Here's what I think. I think, and just ideas, not advice, but I think if you got a better handle on, if you found the path to the mountain, if you get a better handle on setting yourself simple but concrete, achievable goals, and you get them done on time, every time, in a more consistent fashion, when you're done and you go to play, you will experience less guilt about it because you're not, right? Is that making sense?
Yeah, I'm laughing because that's what my boyfriend tells me every day.
Very, very nice. How does he describe it? What was your conversation with him about that?
He was like, "See, you should listen to them. You can do anything if you set your mind to." That's what he said.
You talked to him about this dream, and that was his feedback.
Yeah, and yeah, that's all. He tells me every day to set a schedule. When you're having fun, you won't feel as much guilty.
Wow, he got right there real quick. It took me an hour to get around there.
He's very smart.
Very nice. And that speaks well of you, that you've got someone intelligent and responsible who thinks you're worth his time. And yeah, that means you are inherently valuable, and the personality and qualities you possess are worth developing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel very loved right now.
Right? Can I give you a mother elephant hug?
Sure.
There you go, over the internet.
When I first saw your videos, I thought about like how huggable you were.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm just a big teddy bear. Thank you. Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, what do you think of your likely ability to start being a little more organized and productive?
Yeah, I think like when we're finished this video,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a schedule for myself.
Okay. My one piece of advice, and I'll break my general rule. I'll give you advice. Start small. Don't make a week-long list of 100 things. Find one thing you want to do. Just one thing you think is important, and set a schedule to maybe do that every day or a couple times a week. Like maybe it's just cleaning your room. Every Saturday you clean your room, and that becomes your regular thing, and you do it every time whether you want to or not. One small thing. Don't overwhelm yourself. And once you find success at that, it'll become easier to schedule other things, and it'll become natural the more you practice at it. So yeah, don't jump in with both feet. Dabble your toes in the water and figure out the path as you go. Yeah, don't go crazy.
Yeah, that's also my problem. When I'm starting something, I overwhelm myself a lot. I try to do everything at once.
Yeah.
You're right. So.
You can imagine it as going to the gym. You don't want to try and bench press 300 pounds on your first day. It's not going to happen. And you will hurt yourself, and then you won't go back to the gym for a month because you're going to be torn muscles and whatnot. So you got to pace yourself.
I'm trying to work out at home, and even then I overwork myself.
One thing I need to do better at, just start with stretching every day. 5 minutes. 5 minutes of stretching every day at the same time, and you make that a regular routine. And once you've mastered that, once that becomes automatic, second nature, no excuses, no skipping, you don't forget, you do it because this is what you do. Then you can start adding other stuff, and it becomes a lot easier.
True.
So little baby steps.
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yo, you're welcome. Sorry, that's again, I'm breaking my rule on the advice thing. General
No,
theoretical
okay.
principles. These are just kind of good ideas, I think. You know, whatever.
I like listening to advice. I asked the elephant, what should I do?
You did, yeah. And I mean, I think that's very important too. That's probably a great way to kind of wrap this up a little bit. Is the elephant. It did two things. It told you what you wanted to hear, which is important, but it also told you what you needed to hear. There is a part of you that knows you have more ability than you're currently expressing. So that's probably partly where the guilt comes from. You're not living up to your full potential, which who does? But
yeah, I feel that.
You feel what?
I feel like I have more potential, but I don't do anything with it.
Yeah, no, that there will be a tremendous. there's few things in this world that feel as bad as feeling useless without purpose.
Yes.
Someone once said, you can, if you have a purpose, you can endure almost any hardship. But if you are enduring hardships for no reason, that's just misery and suffering. There's nothing to that. So you kind of got to be living for something. You got to be heading in a direction. If you're just standing still, the world passes you by, and you're eventually you just get old and die, and you're like, why bother? What did I even do here? So I think there's a lot of that going on in you philosophically, as trying to figure out, and most importantly, what do you want? There's other people who say, if you love what you do, you will never work a day in your life. If you find, like, if I could make a living doing dream interpretation, I'll never work again. I'll just do this all day. I'll just talk to people about their dreams. That is literally my dream right now. Is I would love to make this financially sustainable in a way. So, and if I do, I will
get to do that.
I hope so too. I'm going to keep talking to very, very kind people like you who give me their time and let me pick their brain, and we'll see what happens. So, well, do you feel like we've covered anything? Are there elements of the dream you still want to focus on? I don't mean to rush you out the door, but I don't want to keep you here forever.
No, actually, I think I got a lot of clarity about why I saw this dream.
Yeah.
I didn't understand anything before, but now I do.
Suddenly it all makes sense.
Yes.
I've found that just the process, like I don't even think I do anything that special. I just talk to people. I just ask questions and we just have a conversation about it. And most of the time there's something there we can look at, and between the two of us, we get something that kind of seems like it makes sense. So, no, it's magical. It really is. I don't even know. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing anything at all. I'm just like, ooh, some higher power working through me, whatever that is. Anyway, I can ramble. Yeah, it is. I love it. I love the feeling. Well, I mean, yeah, that's about it. If you're satisfied by the process, then we'll probably wrap it up, and maybe if you'll hang out just a minute afterwards, I'll end the video, but we'll talk for a minute.
Sure. It doesn't matter if you have time. I don't know.
Oh, I do. I always like to do a little just post. We talk before and then after. So I'll just say to everyone watching, thanks for joining us for another episode of Dreamscapes. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again, Mina.
Thank you.